Hey, it says welcome to my ultimate settings guide for Battlefield 6. This guide will provide you with the most possible frames you can get for Battlefield 6 as well as removing all the annoying blurring around the world and the weaponry. If you guys are planning to play Battlefield 6, then please consider leaving a like and a subscription. And now let's head into the guide. In the graphics options, the first thing you want to do is set performance preset to custom and graphic quality to custom so we can actually edit our graphic quality settings. However, before we do this, I just want to let you know about the sharpness. I found the game to be perfectly sharp at 30. When you do increase sharpness or decrease it above 30, it's gonna cause some fatigue, at least it did in me, so I would recommend keeping this on 30. Anyways, let's go now into the graphic quality settings, and here you can see I'm running 3 options on high, which I will explain in detail, and everything else on low. So with the texture quality, this is just overall sharpness of soldiers, objects, buildings, and assets in the world of Battlefield 6. I recommend if your card has the VRAM to run this, that you leave it on high. Texture filtering is basically the filtering of those textures. It's anisotropic filtering from the old Battlefield games. High is 16x. You can also get away with medium, which is going to be 8x. So this doesn't cost anything. I would just recommend that you have it on high or medium. Mesh quality, probably the most important setting in the Battlefield franchise. It was important in all the older Battlefield games. Basically what this does, that's the rendering of the objects, assets, soldiers, vehicles at distance. So let's say we find ourselves on Operation Firestorm. We are on Charlie flag. You're going to be able to see further into the distance toward Bravo and Alpha with this setting. So if you can run it, I would recommend high or medium. Ultra doesn't really matter too much. I can run Ultra. I just found high because of the nature of the smaller maps of Battlefield 6 to be just enough without costing me too much more frames. Then the terrain quality, undergrowth, and everything else here I left on low for maximum FPS. So the high fidelity object count is still something I'm messing about, but because Battlefield 6 is already a CPU hungry game, it is almost entirely CPU bound, this costs a lot of CPU power. So I left it just on low for now. But if something changes with this, I will update this video and tell you that maybe you can fiddle with this a bit more further. Under advanced graphical options, you want to put your fixed resolution scale to 100. If it isn't, don't put this any higher. It costs lots and lots of frames. Then your frame limiter must be on off as well, so you can actually go higher than your monitor's refresh rate. And video reflex low latency, I have this on enabled. I tried enable plus boost, but I noticed it causes some frame dips here and there. So just leave it on enabled or off. I use DLSS 4 because I have a 5090 on the upscaling quality of quality because I noticed that DLSS 4 makes Battlefield 6 look better for me. You can also just have it off. It doesn't really matter too much. You will gain frames, of course, with DLSS 4, but the thing I was aiming for here is just visual fidelity. I don't care too much about the frames you would get from DLSS. So this is just gonna be personal preference for fidelity here. Then we have the frame gen. Don't put this on. It causes a lot of input lag as well as the future frame rendering. And then you have here the performance overlay, which you will not need because I will give you my user CFG file, and then you will have the FPS tracker in game rather than have this performance overlay. Under the camera settings, you just put your field of view and your vehicle third-person field of view to what you wish. This is completely personal preference. And then motion blur and world motion blur you set to 0, as well as camera shake amount to 50. This is the lowest as it gets right now. I personally also have reduced sprint camera bobbing to on. This is that motion your soldier makes when you run. He like kind of goes left and right. It really causes even more motion blur. So I would say you put this on. And then you want to turn off chromatic aberration, vignette, and filgram. These are just filters you don't want in Battlefield 6. Already has a lot of filters. So in my opinion, remove all those that you can yourself. Under display, because I am a content creator, I have multiple monitors. I have to run borderless. You can just run full screen if you play on one monitor. Then you have to select your main monitor to be whatever you're using, put your resolution up, and then have your aspect ratio on auto or just set it to on. And then vertical sync, you want to make sure it's off, and your refresh rate, mine is already selected to be highest available from the NVIDIA control settings, but if yours isn't, then make sure you set it up here. As I mentioned previously in the video, we are using a user CFG file, so you just want to find the main directory of your Battlefield 6 because I am playing on Steam. Mine is on the Steam Apps Common Battlefield 6, and here is my user CFG. When you open your user CFG, you will see that we have a bunch of codes and files we are sending towards the Frostbite engine. This was assembled by Freddy, so I want to give the man credit. He makes amazing optimization packs for Windows and also for Battlefield 6, so this comes from him. The big thing here, of course, is the light tile CS path enable. This is going to give you a bunch of frame rate in game, but I do want to warn you, when you do enable this via the user CFG file, it will actually turn off all the lights in the main menu. It's literally completely dark. So do keep that in mind if you will be using this. The big part here is of course the depth of field method being on 0 and motion blur enable on 0 as well. This is going to remove all that annoying blur that you have around your weapon when you actually ADS, as I had on my holographic scope before I enabled this user CFG file. After you have done the user CFG file, you want to head over to your documents, find your Battlefield 6, and then find the prof save profile file. There you will just type Ctrl+F and type weapon doff as so, and then you will find this option right here which you select. You want to make sure that this is on 0. This is also going to help remove any depth of field you have around your weapon and giving you this crisp, smooth look that you've seen on my videos and my stream. With that being said, guys, that's going to be the video for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you found this guide helpful and it fixed your game a little bit, then please consider leaving a like and a subscription for future content. Thank you so much, and I'll see you boys in the next Battlefield 6 video. This is Ace signing out.